Yeah.
I will tell you, though, I don't think that it is losing as much power as I had hoped. And I reference Elon Musk, and here's why. It's seemingly working. I know a lot of people that think he's an anti-Semite. I'm like, you sure about that?
Well, they think he's a Nazi. More than just an anti-Semite,
right. Okay.
like an actual Nazi.
These are reasonable people.
Yeah, and here's the irony. He's on the spectrum. So this thing,
where
he didn't even
your,
realize what he's doing when he's
the
going
heart
like,
gesture.
My heart goes out to you.
But Joe, what about the video, the montage of all the liberals, including AOC, engaging in the same sig hail?
Tim
that
Walsh.
aren't on the,
Tim Walsh. I love you all.
Yes.
This is like it's like a thing that people have to stop doing.
But that's
you got to do it like this. You got to have two hands, touch your heart, and then
I'm not doing it.
You know, when I was getting in trouble with CNN during the vaccine days, the COVID days, they would use a photograph of me from the UFC weigh-ins. Because when I go to the UFC weigh-ins, I say, "Welcome to the weigh-ins, everybody." So they had this photo of me from the side with my arm. That's the one they used all the time.
No! Wait, people buy that shit, and they are still buying it, and that scares me. And in an argument on Piers Morgan, this did raise my voice a little bit. I was like, well, I don't know. I don't think he's an anti-Semite. Number one, he's friends with the Jews. Number two, he hires Jews. And number three, he hasn't killed any Jews. And he
has a necklace around his neck that he was given to one of the mothers of the hostages. It says, "Bring them home."
Okay, I remember him going after October 7th and talking about the videos that he'd seen. But the guy was like, "Oh, that's your benchmark? He doesn't kill Jews?" And I was like, "No, that's yours. You're the one comparing him to Hitler, who killed 6 million Jews. So if you're going to draw that comparison, 0, 6 million. So shut the fuck up."
It's all dumb. It's all a trick, because what they're really doing is going after him because he's trying to go after U.S. aid. And so
I
that's
see
their
that
slush fund.
But can I tell you how many reasonable people, and I cannot.
I have friends that I have to argue about it with.
Exact same.
Yeah.
That's when I tell you, like, I don't know that it's actually losing its power.
It is.
You think?
It's just not losing its power with really fucking dumb people. And you're going to have a certain percentage of really fucking dumb people. And they're either going to have to catch up, or we're going to have to overwhelm them with a lot of logic. And that takes time. And it takes a lot of these kind of conversations. And they get out there and they get clipped. And maybe you and I said something here that will be taken out of context and used against you, which is always really fun. That's my favorite. When they just take like a snippet of it. See, told you. She's a this. She's a that. And then it's this reductionist thing where they try to define you by a string of words. And forget about your whole life.
They did that to Candace Owens.
Yes.
Because, she's this disgusting anti-Semite. So I listened to her. I listened to her answer all that stuff on her show. And then I listened to her debate it with Rabbi Shmuley. And I thought, okay, let's see what a bitch she is. And I listened to everything she said, and I checked it all and watched it in context. And then I actually sat with her, and I was like, all right, I'm going to open the door.
I like Candace a lot, but Candace says a lot of wild shit.
She does.
Not accurate. Like,
but do
she
you
thinks
think
dinosaurs
she
are
hates Jews?
fake.
I hear you. I get it. But I get it.
That is like self-inflicted.
That's
a self-inflicted wound.
But do you think that I'm like, all right, are you a Holocaust denier? No, I'm not a Holocaust denier. And then still to this day, she's a Holocaust denier.
Well, that's my friend Daryl Cooper, who was on my podcast, because he said hyperbolically that Winston Churchill was one of the main villains of World War II because he started blockades and forced Hitler into action and starved the German people. Like, it's like what he said was really unfortunate the way he said it, but he was trying to say that Winston Churchill did some things that if he hadn't done them, maybe World War II wouldn't have gone the way it went. But the problem is when you say that and it gets taken out of context, people say, oh, he's a Holocaust denier and a Nazi sympathizer.
Right.
But then you listen to his podcast, he's got this, I think it's 30 hours called Fear and Loathing in New Jerusalem. And it's the most gut-wrenching tale of the persecution of Jews in Eastern Europe. Just the beginning of it. I tell everybody, just listen to the first 40 minutes of it. It's so heartbreaking. This is not the words of a homophobe, or excuse me, of an anti-Semite that would say those things.
I haven't.
But reductionist things that people love to do.
But even still, here would be my argument to that. let's say he was. If you're inclined to believe that, let's say that was his argument and that Hitler wasn't bad and it was Churchill, then you're an asshole and an idiot.
Yeah.
Then there's no hope for you. This gatekeeping of
but
information.
But he's neither an asshole or an idiot, and he's being called an asshole and an idiot by people who don't consume his work.
Of course. I'm saying
which is really
worst
crazy.
Case scenario. Because I see this a lot with the gatekeeping of information, and God forbid you don't fact check everybody on everything, which has been something that I've gotten a bit of. Like, well, you nodded your head and you said, I see your point. I'm like, well, sometimes I see their point, and sometimes I don't know, and I can't fact check everything, and I'll talk to somebody else who has a differing opinion, but people can think for themselves as well.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's just a lot of bad faith actors out there, and there's a lot of people that do that, this taking people out of context and trying to use this reductionist perspective and label people with these pejoratives that are inescapable. Like it's in the racist, homophobe, anti-Semite, all those are inescapable. And once you get hit with those, that's your fucking sticker on your forehead for the rest of your life. And that's what they're trying to do to you, because they're trying to silence you and because they want to win. And this is a real problem with human beings when it comes to ideas, is that like if I believe something and you believe something differently, I don't want to listen to you. I want to beat you, right? I want to overwhelm you with talk. I want to Piers Morgan you into submission. I want to yell at you, not Piers the human, but the show.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
You want to yell at them and you want to win. You want to dunk on them. And this is why I don't engage with people on social media. I just think it's the worst way to communicate. And when I see people doing it, I genuinely feel bad for them because I think they're mentally ill. When people are dunking on people constantly on social media, I'm like, well, that's a sign of mental illness. Like there's something wrong with you. You don't realize that yet? Like this shit's been around for 20 years now, and you're still engaging in that kind of behavior on social media? It's stupid.
It gets clicks. That's what I think it is.
That's also part of the problem. Is I get enough attention.
Yeah,
I get enough attention, so I don't need to like reach out and try to get more. Which is like, but by the way, that's what you're supposed to do when you get a lot of attention. You're supposed to rise above. With great power, great responsibility. You're supposed to try to be nicer, which is I try. That's like one of my core tenets in life: be as nice as possible. And here's a shocker: I find people are nice to me almost entirely. Like very rarely are people not nice to me because I'm nice to everybody. So if you're nice to everybody, guess what? People are nice to you.